He was take no prisoners.
What the hell is a feminist? I thought anyone who had breasts was a feminist.
There are almost no feminists who have ever burned a bra, so let me get that straight.
There's almost no feminists who ever had anything that they needed to wear a bra for.
Between us, there was a certain amount of sexual tension. Likewise on your jockstrap, but in any case... What happened to me, inability to collect child support, sex discrimination on my first job, being the victim of sexual assault, having to get an abortion, almost dying as a result. Then when I became an attorney, this was not just my bad luck.
She's won over $250 million of lawsuits specific to sexual harassment.
Yeah, but what about you? Are you a feminist?
Absolutely not.
Can't wait to find out why you believe in second-class citizens.
I don't believe in second-class citizens. I know you're a true believer.
No, but it's not a true believer.
You are a true
I am a true believer in empowerment of women and minorities,
but here's
equal rights.
So one of the things I like to do is I like to sit down with people that are the best at what they do. Today we're sitting with somebody who is known as Women's Victims' Rights Attorney. She's won over $250 million of lawsuits specific to sexual harassment. She's known for bullying bullies. And every time she comes on camera, men are shivering all over the place, wondering who's going to be next. So with that being said today, Gloria Allred, thank you so much for making the time.
Nice to see you, and nice to meet you, Patrick.
Pleasure meeting you. You got a wonderful documentary out, by the way, that came out.
Thank you very much. Seeing Allred, which is now streaming on Netflix. I'm just very thankful to...
Get it? As you can see, everybody associated with this R. Kelly, they getting their little reality series. They getting something out this deal.
The wonderful job done by the producers and support by Netflix. It's a powerful story. They wanted to do a story of, my battle for women's rights, which I've been battling for 42 years. We're the leading women's rights law firm in the United States. What I really wanted to do was to help to empower women and minorities, individuals who are lesbian or gay or transgender as well, to stand up against injustice, to know that they don't have to suffer in silence, that they have legal rights, they can assert those rights, and we can protect those rights and we can vindicate those rights, sometimes in a confidential settlement, sometimes in a court of law, sometimes by just supporting them if they wish to speak out publicly and have their voice, depending on what it is they want to say and what their goals are. And the point is, Patrick, that women and minorities, for the most part, are not going to suffer in silence anymore. They are going to stand up. They are going to make those who have wronged them, who have inflicted injustices on them, accountable in some way. Because I always say, Patrick...
So, excuse me, I was getting rather bored just looking at her. I had to just abort from that whole video. But I think you kind of get where I'm going with this. Gloria Allred, she put on the front that she's here for equal rights for women, but really it's all a money grab. So anytime you see her, that's her agenda, to get money. When Bill Cosby was convicted, you can go research the video where she says out of her mouth, she was shocked that he was found guilty. Because why? They have no real evidence against him. It's just a whole lot of political back and forth in the media bullshit. So when I see Gloria Allred is representing Faith Rogers and is representing this new Minnesota case, and if I'm not mistaken, I feel like she's also representing Geronda Pace now. And I believe that is the root to Michael Avenatti and Gloria Allred's beef. And I'll show you in just a minute where when she came out with the guy that says he found the third sex tape, he went and publicly started to cast doubt, saying that there's no tape and all this other bullshit. Because at the time, he wanted to be the only one handing in the tapes. Little did he know Miss Geronda Pace finna go jump ship on his ass. Maybe she knew about his little corrupt ways, his little extortion from all his clients. So she figured, why let this man steal from me when I can go over here and let this woman get me a bag? But anyways, back to the story.
Back to court. I
new sexual assault charges. Another woman has come forward with own personal accounts of R. Kelly's alleged abuse. She's speaking out in a daytime exclusive interview for the first time since filing an unexpected lawsuit against R. Kelly. What she has to say about him could change everything. There are now new legal troubles for singer R. Kelly, as attorney Gloria Allred announced she's representing some of his victims, including Faith Rogers.
Taking a stand against R. Kelly, someone who's been termed the king of R&B and is loved by many, has not been easy. I decided after a great...
I don't know why she's struggling so hard to read her own words, but continue.
...deal of thought that I should speak my truth. Because it is time I stand up for myself.
In 2018, Rogers filed a civil lawsuit against Kelly.
You know what? I'm going to get more in depth with Faith Rogers and Gloria Allred. Or just basically Faith Rogers on the video I do of her. Let's just stick to Gloria Allred. But I'm going to let Faith Rogers trap herself up real quick.
Because this has been a really traumatic learning experience for her. She's willing to do that. She's willing to say, and she says this in her lawsuit that was filed by her wonderful attorney Lydia Agu, that he...
Same attorney that got her own charges, that should be in jail right about now. Same lawsuit that was thrown out. Continue.
He knew that he had herpes.
This is R. Kelly.
Yes, and that he gave that to her when he did not disclose to her that he had it, that he knew that he had it. And that is something that is very dangerous. And that is why it's important to know.
But the gag is, according to sources, R. Kelly does not have it. So maybe that's why the case was thrown out, because again, you cannot prove that. But as we all see, Miss Allred condones going to the media, going on shows to spread your lies, regardless of how it ends up playing out in the court.
Oh, that it is a violation of public health law in New York to have a sexually transmitted disease and not tell your sexual partner that you have it.
All right, just to reiterate, Faith has filed a lawsuit against R. Kelly claiming that he knowingly gave her an incurable sexually transmitted infection, an STD.
Yes.
At what point did you realize that you had been infected?
After I left.
You were already gone?
Yes.
And did you have any inkling that he was infected? Had that been talked about among the women there? Had he ever intuited that?
No. And I now represent another young woman who alleges that she was underage when Mr. Kelly involved himself in sexual intercourse with her, and that he gave her herpes. This is prior.
That's why I'm feeling like Geronda Pace jumped ship. Now I could be wrong, but I believe this is Geronda Pace. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I believe. And that's why I believe Allred and Michael Avenatti beefing, to be honest, because she slick took his client.
To his ever being involved with Faith. So that's one of the reasons that in the lawsuit it is alleged that he knew that he had herpes because some years earlier he had given it to someone else.
And she had told him that she'd gotten the illness, I gather. That's how you would know?
Well, whether or not she told him, she alleges that he would have known, Faith would.
So she didn't tell him. So now you're saying he would have known, but nobody told him. So how can you get him charged with intentionally infecting if she didn't tell him? You're just going to say he had to know.
Alleges he would have known if, in fact, he had it and gave it to someone else. So, this is going to be a very interesting and important part of the lawsuit. And many people don't know. They have legal rights against someone who gives them a sexually transmitted disease, herpes or anyone else, if that person knew or should have known that they had that disease and failed to disclose it. That's why one of the causes of action, Dr. Oz, in the lawsuit it's called fraud. fraudulent concealment if you don't make that representation or misrepresent your health condition to your sexual partner. You could be sued. Potentially, it would be a crime as well.
When you found out that you'd been infected, who did you tell? What did you do?
See, I see. Dr. Oz, I don't think he buying into this shit. Because if you go back and watch his full interview, you'll see how the line of questions, he looking at her like, you clearly just saying stuff you think I want to hear. But at the end of the day, you are accusing this man of some crazy and very wrong allegations. With that being said, the story you given in response just seemed like something you could have easily walked away from. And even if you go back, this silly dumb fool says she at one point was locked in a car. How the fuck are you locked in a car? Again, I'm gonna save all that in my video on faith. But as you can see, Gloria Allred is connected to Lizette, Faith Rogers. I believe she's representing the new Minnesota chick who I have already put on my Instagram, my Facebook, and all my social media, who I believe it to be, which is the girl they knew it was back in 2002. It was Adelina Prado and Lisa Van Allen, the same two girls I told y'all was in the sex tape. So now she trying to play victim just like Lisa Van Allen. If you go research it, she is following Lisa Van Allen. So she, with the advice to these silly ass solicitors, have came forward as they requested.
To remove, in addition, it is a crime to knowingly possess child pornography, and that is yet another reason to remove from your possession any similar tapes by turning them over to law enforcement either directly or through an attorney.
So at this point, they're trying to get everybody that got these R. Kelly sex tapes to turn them in to attorneys, not the police. Turn them into attorneys. Now they soliciting more clients. The fuck?
Gary and Sally are role models for all of us. They knew that they had a moral duty to do the right thing. I am honored to represent them, and I urge others to follow their example. We need more people on this earth like Gary and Sally. And now I'm going to introduce Gary, and I think I'll change places with you. Okay? So you can sit near the cameras.
Now we ain't gonna talk about the rumors of who this is allegedly connected to. But again, as I told you, all these people are connected. They are all working together to bring this man down. Some get jealous of the others, and they act out on social media, clearly. But there's another piece to the puzzle. But where is the sex tape? Michael Avenatti confirmed he's still trying to retrieve this third sex tape. So where is it? Where is the sex tape? Now you're trying to get more people to turn in sex tapes. But we all know as a fact, when this whole thing went down, many people had this sex tape. Copies of this sex tape. And we have on record Michael Avenatti saying that he had copies made while he's sitting here distributing this. And you telling us, the public, it's illegal to do this. Y'all charging R. Kelly for this act, but you ain't charging the people who out here copying it, distributing it. So let's move on to the next.
Come forward. Latrice and Rochelle alleged that they were teenagers living in Baltimore, Maryland, when in 1995 or 1996 they bought tickets to a concert and after party featuring R. Kelly and LL Cool J. Little did they know that their decision to attend those events would leave.
But it's funny they don't have no photo with R. Kelly like they have a photo with LL Cool J, which she so boldly held up. So those are the other two clients. Miss Gloria, I can't even say her name, Gloria Allred represents. Let's move on to the next.
Thank you for coming today. I'm attorney Gloria Allred, and this is Lizette Martinez, and we'll both be making a statement. And then at 12 o'clock, I have an additional statement, which is breaking news. Today I'm here with a victim of R. Kelly to respond to Mr. Kelly's defense attorney, Douglas Anton, who filed a letter in federal court in New York last week in the case now pending in United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York against his client, R. Kelly. In that case, Mr. Kelly, also known as the defendant, is charged with... Thank you for coming today. I'm attorney Gloria Allred, and this is Lizette Martinez, and we'll both be making a statement. And then at 12 o'clock, I have an additional statement, which is breaking news. Today I'm here with a victim of R. Kelly to respond to Mr. Kelly's defense attorney, Douglas Anton, who filed a letter in federal court in New York last week in the case now pending in United States District Court.
So he filed a letter with the court, and you want to respond by holding a signature press conference. Go ahead, Gloria. Do your thing.
For the Eastern District of New York against his client, R. Kelly. In that case, Mr. Kelly, also known as the defendant, is charged with felonies involving sex trafficking and a criminal enterprise. There are charges filed by the United States Attorney.
And why Lizette always got this stupid ass look on her face, like she just stuck somewhere?
Office on behalf of 5 victims in that case. I represent 3 of the 5 victims for whom charges have been filed. Lizette Martinez, who is here with me today, is not one of those 5 victims. However, she is.
Why you ain't got one of the 5 victims? Again, y'all always want to bring irrelevant people that ain't got nothing to do with the case in front of the public to talk bad about this man when you got the people that have no case talking bad, even though the people that you chose still don't have a case.
A potential witness. Lizette is a victim who told what she alleges about her victimization by Mr.
She a potential witness. Alright, we're gonna see how that works, because she ain't credible.
Kelly in the Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly. She has reported what she alleges to law enforcement, and I'm very proud of her because it takes a great deal of courage to recall what was and is a very painful experience in her life. The trauma of many victims is only compounded.
Look how retarded she is. She had to think about, like, that ain't a normal reaction. The first thing she smiled, she happy that this woman says she's proud of her. She's still smiling when she realized, oh, she's supposed to be sad. Let me wipe my face like I'm finna cry. These people are some real bad actresses. That's why they didn't get nowhere. Because at the end of the day, I just realized I say at the end of the day a lot. But anyways, because it is at the end of the day, they still lying. They sitting here telling you a story about how they wanted to be these stars. And they went out and did these things. And now they feel some type of way. And they mad because people are labeling them groupies and having groupie remorse, as she says in this new press conference. But that's exactly what it is. If you letting these celebrities do things to you, you wouldn't let the next broke ass man down the street do for you. Who fucking fault is that? And then in this new indictment, they're talking about because he's an authority figure. When the fuck did celebrities become authority figures? Ain't now celebrity got no authority over me. The only person got, ain't no, you know what? God is your only authority. So if you out here, again, doing the most for clout, for notoriety, for a bag, you are not a victim. Shit just didn't work out for you. Period.
A letter filed by Mr. Anton in court last week in which he alleges that victims of R. Kelly have, quote, groupie remorse, end quote. Many victims of Mr. Kelly were underage and, as a matter of law, cannot consent to sexual abuse by Mr. Kelly or anyone else. To suggest that they did consent or have consented to being targeted by a predator and his enabler.
So if you'll notice, if you watch all these people, they want to just keep throwing this underage thing, when the true fact of the matter is it's always around 17, 18-year-olds. But they want to keep in the mind that it's little girls who can easily be manipulated. Same little girls sneaking out doing all these things. Same people around industry people who have 15, 16, 17-year-olds living like adults.
As if they had known that they were being targeted, manipulated, and abused, is extremely upsetting to many victims who were vulnerable and were clearly victims of a predator and his enablers. Lizette feels that she must speak out on this mischaracterization of victims by the defense because it's unfair and it's hurtful and it's triggering more pain and in some cases guilt and shame that no victim should have to bear. I am very proud of her that she is speaking out today. She's courageous, and I commend her that she's willing to speak her truth to the defense attorneys for Mr. Kelly, who are trying to shame and blame.
She trying hard to get them tears. But let me skip along, because there's one thing she said that stood out to me. This is just too much.
I'll say one last thing. It's not too late for even more persons who believe they were victims of Mr. Kelly to come forward. There's still time for justice for them.
And they're not alone. It's good. You're not alone.
It's funny. She just want to keep pushing this "you are not alone" narrative. Like, get the fuck out of here. So, anyways, I didn't try to make this video so long. I just wanted to give you a good wrap up of who this Gloria Allred is. She's shady. I wouldn't sweat too much that she has to offer, because when she go to court, she ain't really got no evidence. And if nothing else, she gonna bring shit in there to make her clients look like the jackass. So go right ahead, Miss Gloria Allred. Do your thing. You do it so well. Fucking up. You might try to get some money, but right here, Sony finna sew this bag up, so you might as well move along. Y'all could see, as this video had went through, she has a history of targeting all the major entertainers. She had her hands in Tiger Woods, Bill Cosby. The list just goes on and on. She even had her hand in Weinstein. She's now representing clients for the Epstein case, in which she so proudly got on her platform to say his trial won't begin till 2020. So in the meantime, she got to keep pumping this R. Kelly shit out there. So let me close this video with, if this new victim is Miss Adelina Prado, whatever, however you say her name, I wouldn't sweat that either, because let's just check this out. When it comes to 2001, and we still keep going back to this fucking sex tape, in which the lawyers want to keep talking about, oh, it's not the same tape from 2008 trial. And that's because we all know that the 2008 tape was doctored. That is why. So the new tapes, I feel like, could be some black masking or deep facing, or I don't really know. But at the end of the day, they're going to have to account for bringing these tapes into the court as evidence. And it's funny how they keep passing it around before they give it to defense. And even now, they still haven't given the defense any evidence against R. Kelly. But as far as Adelina, this is who I believe you or some of you believe to be Beverly. There is nobody named Beverly. Beverly is this chick. This chick is the same person that officers and other people, even Jim Derogatives, they all knew about this lady who used to run with Lisa Van Allen, who was in a sex tape with Lisa Van Allen. So I guess now they have talked this lady into coming in and getting to the cash. Because this article here is from 2009, where it clearly has her. And they insinuate who may or may not have participated in threesomes with her and Kelly. Chuck and Keith were also key players in this extortion, yet they only tied in Daryl McDavid. Where is Chuck and Keith? She's on Instagram following none other than Lisa Van Allen. So, y'all could go check her out and see what you think. But I'm not buying this new set of charges. Have a great day.